and welcome to Butterfly Tea Time. I hope you have your tea and your coffee ready. Today we're diving in with EMMITT Henderson, CEO of Male Lupus Warriors. Welcome, EMMITT. So glad to see you.
Hey, lady. So glad to be on here with you guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming on, EMMITT.
Yeah. How are you doing? What's new over there in California?
Just Cali sunshine today and being blessed that I could wake up to this. So it's beautiful out here today. So I can share this Cali sunshine with you guys anytime.
I love it. It's very bright over there. Oddly enough, in Las Vegas, it's been snowy and icy and cloudy. So that's interesting. How's your weather there in Louisiana, Delibra?
It's cold, wet, and rainy.
Shantae, Florida, how's it over there?
I've been having to cut the air on. It's 83 degrees.
Wow.
See?
I'm jealous.
I'm hot.
Well, you can have some of my cold.
You want to change?
Yeah, you can,
we can
totally
switch up.
Wow. And I'm sure just with lupus alone, how these different environments can affect East Coast, West Coast, and the Midwest. It's like, you know, it's all over. And so we got to take the weather the best way that we can. But I feel for you guys in that cold right now.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I know a lot of people always wish it would snow here, but I think now that it's happening and there's ice on the ground, it's not what we love to see. It's fun for one day, but now it's continuing. So interesting.
Yeah,
well,
that part.
EMMITT, I really wanted to highlight you this week. You just launched your new book. So tell us about this new book that you're launching. Super exciting.
Well, so I got approached by an author that wanted me to tell my story. They read my story of my, health problems that for going on, like I said, 28 years now of struggling with my health, maintaining jobs, raising my kids, living life, and, just standing up to my illness. And she wanted to feature me in a book where she had 11 authors, 11 Black men come together to write about their hardships and how they're thriving about it today. So I'm just honored that she saw my story as thriving from my hardship. It's something that, I was pretty good at telling my story, writing it out. But when you're asked to be, part of a book that anybody can read worldwide, that's huge. Yeah. So, of course, I did my best to put everything in. But we all know that our lives is more than a chapter, and it's ongoing. From the time that I wrote that book, so many things had happened more to where I could have added on so many more pages. But this is the life that we live. So, again, I'm just so grateful that that happened.
And then what is the title of your book and how can viewers find it?
It is on Amazon. It's called The Power in Men. With the power in men, the ME is capitalized, indicating the power in me, what it took for me to get this power to be where I'm at today.
Oh,
I love that.
And so
it's a really good concept because don't mean to interrupt you, sorry. It's a really good concept to see, some of the brothers of what we go through. And it's not just health issues. It's other guys with problems, like I said, in life, whether it's employment, whether it's relationship, whether it's incarceration, health, it's just everything. But the point is, we believe that we can do better, be better, and now we're thriving and we got the chance to share our stories.
Yes, yes.
Oh, I love that.
I love it.
That is wonderful.
So out of the copies that you had, EMMITT, you already sold out. So are they still available on Amazon, or do we need to wait a little while?
No, they should be available on Amazon. The copies that were given to me, once I first put it out and posted, I was overwhelmed with all of the responses and purchases from them. So my part is sold out, the ones that I had. But now, yes, they're still available on Amazon. And again, it's a good way to uplift you. And just when you think that you got things going, bad in your life and your time to overcome, read what these other authors and myself had put in there, because there's hope. There's hope no matter what situation you're in. It's very inspiring even to myself.
I love that. That is amazing.
That's beautiful.
That is wonderful.
I can't wait to read this book. I tried to get a copy today, but it's sold out. I was too slow to the wheel, so I'm waiting. But if I can find it on Amazon, I could get it today, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The power in men.
Awesome. I definitely can't wait to read that.
I love that you created a book. So I do have another question though. So what inspired you to create Male Lupus Warriors, your nonprofit organization?
Wow. Right now, I'm gonna tell you, Delibra, from being diagnosed in 1995, there was no other man that was diagnosed at the time. I didn't even know what lupus was. Remember, there's no Google that was out that can let me look it up. So the first few years of it, still not having a clue what it was, no support groups or anything. It's something I bottled into myself. You know, I couldn't show that I was sick. I didn't want to show I was taking so many medications, because for men, that makes us look weak, that we couldn't handle certain things. So it was tough for me to hide it all these years and trying to maintain my position as a manager in the field that I was in. So fast forward to me ending my career because of lupus in the workforce. I needed to do something that is going to keep me busy. And how can I give back to what was not there for me? And the simple way for me to do that was for me to be that voice that I needed in 1995. I needed another brother to tell me, you're going to be okay, bro. Keep doing what you're doing. You need a shoulder, I'm right here to talk to. You need to talk to somebody, come over. Let's have a drink. Let's holler at each other. I didn't have any of that. When I decided to be an advocate for lupus, I specifically wanted people to know that this is coming from a man with experience with lupus, not because I know somebody, not because I read about it, because I went through all these years with it, from every organ failure to joint replacements to transplants, additional diagnosis. And here I am today. And if I could tell my story to help somebody, then I'm going to do something that God's looking for me to do. So I decided to name it Male Lupus Warrior. I'm a lupus warrior and I'm a male, and I want everybody to know that, again, this is coming from a guy that experienced lupus for himself. So Male Lupus Warriors was born.
I absolutely love that. I love that you took back your power and you're helping others, because that's one of the things when you're newly diagnosed, you do feel isolated. And although we do have technology, like you mentioned, Google, you can do that now. But a lot of people did not have technology, or even when they start doing that, they still get confused about what they're reading. So I love the fact that you're taking ownership of this and you're letting other men know that men do have lupus too.
That's
and
it.
we go through it, but we're still warriors. We're strong. I mean, y'all are strong, just like all the women, females all across the country. We support you. We're just glad to see men come forth and just join and say, hey, we have lupus too.
Thank you. It's you ladies that set the bar up there. And then we're just trying to be a voice to help and be there with you guys, because you guys set the bar to let, lupus be visible to everybody. And yes, because men do get it too, I just kind of help lift our voices up as well with you.
Yeah. So you guys, if you're new to the lupus community, only 11% of men are diagnosed with lupus. So it's very rare for men to get it. And when Emmett was diagnosed, in this time, there wasn't social media. And so when he was going to meetings and things, it was just very female oriented. And a lot of men didn't speak about it until Emmett started to spearhead this whole project for men and all these support groups to bring men out of the dark with this condition. So tea time here to you, Emmett, for your work.
Yes. I'm raising cups. Yes. It's almost like the courage you had to step out gave other men courage to do the same.
But you know what? And Shanta, you're right. It was a process, though. It was a journey. Yeah. It's not something that I woke up and was like, this is what I'm going to do. Again, for years, because I wasn't educated on lupus in the 90s, I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't know anything about it. It mustered up a lot of strength and courage to admit that I have a disease that there's no cure for. And then, of course, being told in 95 that it's a woman's disease, of course, even shot the ego even more. So once the years went by and with everything that was being done, it was time for people to know, yeah, this is what's wrong with me, and I'm okay to say it.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a community that was out there until I joined it. I didn't know I had a story to tell till I told it. And once everything got told and everything just started to fall into place. Like the community needed this.
Yes.
And I'm saying that they needed me, no, but they needed more voices to speak up and advocate for lupus.
Absolutely. So one of the comments that you got here today was, so proud of you, Emmett Henderson, to see you keeping it moving. My mom used to say, keep it moving, and you always do.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much to moms as well. Thank you.
Another comment that you had was, like I said, Emmett Henderson, I want to be like you.
Yeah, you know what? Thank you. But I also want to let you know that you can be you and even bigger and better. And you know, we're all our own individual persons to do what we got to do. I found my way. You could find yours, and I'm there to help you, you know, direct to find yours.
And he truly is, you guys. Like, he answers everyone that sends him a direct message on Facebook. Wow. One of your other comments was, definition of inspiring equals Emmett.
Oh,
thank you. Thank you so much. Like I said, if I could reach one and teach millions about my story, that despite what I went through, I'm still here today to smile and talk to you guys. So everybody can do it. Everybody. It's not easy, though. Please remember, it's not easy, but it's worth the fight. It's definitely worth the fight.
It absolutely is. And you're helping so many to like find a brother in you that they can just talk to through your inspirational posts that you do in the mornings and like through the week. And then also like just to be able to reach out to you and have a friend that's gone through this for now 28 years.
28 years, February, 28 years diagnosed with lupus, lupus nephritis, Sjogren's syndrome, mixed connective tissue disease, rheumatoid arthritis, and then today, diabetes.
Just recently diagnosed with that, right?
About an hour and a half ago.
Oh, wow.
I just got a phone call. Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot too.
Yes.
I appreciate your honesty, because so many times we'll say we have lupus and we'll leave it there. But most of the time, if someone says they have lupus, they have way more than lupus. It's not just lupus. It's nephritis. It's maybe problems with your lungs. It's problems with your heart. It's so many other things. It's not just lupus.
Right.
And with that, we know we're talking. This is our dialysis special. You're our trooper. You're sharing your story, and we're grateful for that. What was something that seemed different for you with the kidney involvement this time around?
So as you guys know, I had a kidney transplant in 2013. And I went through dialysis for about 14 months prior to that. So for the past 10 years, I was good with a new kidney. Just this past August, after returning from a trip to Africa, I was in kidney failure again. So with that, I am on dialysis now. But the symptoms that I had prior was definitely swelling and some joint pains and so much fatigue. And now it's kind of like, if I can recall, almost the same thing, but you might have multiplied that by 10. It is so much harder for me this round than it was 10 years ago. But keep in mind, I'm also 10 years older than what I was then as well. And the body, you know, as much as we try to stay in shape and as much as we try to keep our youth, unfortunately, we all know that an autoimmune disease pushes forward in age, pushes those numbers forward on us, because we're older on paper than what it looks like.
That's right.
So I really admit this has been really tough for me being on dialysis again now. So 10.5 hours a day, and sometimes I have to do the manuals in the daytime just to keep water retention off of me, just to keep some of my energy going. But it's what I got to do. It's what I have to do today.
I appreciate.
Sorry.
Okay. I appreciate your honest answer to that question, because sometimes we don't get these conversations until we are actually undergoing this, and this is helping so many people. Because sometimes that your answer helped me a lot, because I also have nephritis, and I know that you do have a certain amount of swelling, and what you said, like it was 10 times worse than the normal. So that that can help people, because sometimes we don't want to go to the nephrologist. Let's be honest. We get sick of doctors because we see them too much already. We feel like we see them too much already. So that answer, it helps somebody today, because somebody may be like, they may need to go to the doctor. They may not want to go, but your answer to that question could help so many people, because that's the real reality. A lot of us do have kidney issues or organ involvement, and not putting it off and maybe going to that doctor's appointment and a little quicker or
Absolutely.
sooner.
Absolutely. Early detection is key for all of us in everything. Any type of symptoms, you have to pay attention to your body, keep a journal. If it's something that's happened continuously, you want to address it. You want to address it because you can avoid and catch something early as opposed to waiting till it's too late.
Yeah.
So Emmett, did this feel different to you than the first time that you went into kidney failure?
It did. It did. I think, then when both kidneys failed, it was pretty hard, but yet the body reacted pretty well to it then. Now that I had 3 kidneys and that third kidney failed, it's like, it's just a constant struggle for me, even to get up. And I think what's really hard for me is that, as strong as I am mentally, it's tough for me to accept that I wasn't as strong as I was 10 years ago, because I got through it. And my mentality is, I'm going to get through this again, but yet I'm not taking account on how hard it is to get through it. And so that's another part of building in my own self and self-care, of knowing what I'm going through, to pay attention to myself and tell myself it's okay if I don't have the strength right now.
Yes.
It's the rest that I need. It's okay to not be okay. We talk about that all the time.
Yes.
We just have to know when it's time to rest. If you can do it, but don't push yourself. And so, Felicia, I found myself doing a lot more, trying to get myself going, than I ever had to before.
Yeah. We got to show ourselves some compassion. I mean, we really do. I mean, we need time to recuperate and heal in these moments, and we push ourselves so much that we end up draining ourselves, and we end up being harder on ourselves than we need to be. Then we end up comparing ourselves to other people with lupus who are going through the same thing.
Yep. You said it right there. Self-compassion. I mean, we have to take time to ourselves to, again, like I was saying, pay attention to ourselves and show some self-care to ourselves on what we're doing. And not to feel sorry for ourselves, but just be okay with ourselves, with not being able to do everything that we want to do.
Yeah.
And every single case of lupus, and every case of even the butterfly malar rash, is so different. It's such a fingerprint condition that everybody's organs are affected differently. Everybody reacts to different foods. They get different forms of the butterfly rash. So it really is doing food journaling and like writing down things that affect you and really listening to your own body.
Yeah.
And using your wolf balm, because when I, even like right now, this side of my cheek right now is really hard. And that's the indication. Because of my skin color, you can't really see my rash, but I can feel it in my skin. And I've been using that wolf balm almost every day. It eases it, it cools it down. It doesn't feel like it's flaring, but I mean, it's another part of that self-care where I recognize it, I address it, and I have a product to take care of it.
Yeah.
Well, Emmett, when I first came out with butterfly nectar, I was looking for something in the industry to use as a makeup artist on the butterfly rash. And you were using that butterfly nectar, and you were definitely supporting me, but you definitely inspired me to create a male version of that. And you continue to inspire so many people.
Thank you. It's a good product. It's a good product. You got to try it.
I'm glad that it can bring you some relief. That was my dream, and that was my goal. So
yes, it does.
So all 3 of us use the nectar, right?
Absolutely.
You use it too, right?
I love it. I love it because I've always had really sensitive skin, even before lupus. I can put like a lot of strong products on my face because I would just be allergic to everything. But it has been miraculous. I love it. Yes, I love it.
Thank you guys. It was really just a dream that I didn't even know could actually even be a possibility years ago. It needed to change. We needed a skincare to treat the rash other than what doctors were giving us, which was just a steroid. And steroids kind of have the same effect on the skin as like a retinol, where it just peels and can create more scarring. So I definitely realized that I needed to invent something that would soothe, take the burning, the itching away, and just provide some form of cooling and relief for this. So
yeah.
It's good.
And it definitely does that, because it really does. Like for me, when I get the Miller rush, it feels like my face is on fire, literally.
yeah.
And it calms it. It feels
Yeah.
cooler. I mean, you can tell the difference. And also my skin itches. So
Yeah.
it stops all those things. So I love it.
Twice a day, morning and evening.
So at the time I was seeing that there were like different products that would maybe have like aloe vera or like anti-inflammatories, but they were just putting a drop of that. And then the list was this many chemicals. So I went to a manufacturer and asked them what if we could take every root extract that would cool and calm the skin and take irritation away and stop itching, burning, and help for scarring prevention. And we were able to put all of those combined without all the fillers. So everything you find in nature, like chamomile, turmeric, aloe vera, vitamin E. So I'm proud to be here today and sharing that with the world.
Yes.
But
Yes.
So I'm grateful for you, and we thank
Yes. Really.
And so there are many people that, you know, as we know with lupus, a lot of people are on disability checks. They can't work anymore. So EMMITT was the first, EMMITT and Chanel were the first butterfly sponsors to sponsor a butterfly that maybe couldn't afford the product and send that throughout the globe to someone in need of that. So we thank you for that. And if you do want to become a butterfly sponsor, you can find it at Flower Power Bath Co. And you can get a hold of me or any of us, and we will link you with someone in need of the product right now throughout the globe.
There it is.
So I'm going through dialysis and 10.5 hours. I mean, you can definitely do some of that while you're sleeping, but you have to do some of that in the day.
Yeah, well, of course, we all know that dialysis is the procedure of doing what your kidneys are supposed to do: filter your body out of the poisons and toxins that develop in your body just from, you know, biotin foods and everything. So because I have zero kidney function, that's what I have to do. And just how the Libra we were talking about, when you can tell when your body starts to need that infusion, when it gets towards the evening time, I can tell I'm wearing down. So I would connect myself. I have a port that goes into my side, a peritoneal port, and I connect to the machine and I let it do its things for the next 10.5 hours. It rejuvenates me somewhat, but at the same time, I'm so wore out to where I would lay down, call it a night. I go to sleep with it running. I wake up with it running. And then by the time it's done, I got to go through a whole disconnection process of sanitizing, cleaning up, getting myself. But then I am so wore out even after that. But now that I've had my time to sleep and it's, you know, the day is going, I got a lot of things I still have to do. Believe it or not, I have a calendar that's still full with a lot of stuff I'm doing. So I have to address all of that. And I can't stay in the bed, even though if I had nothing in the books, I would my body wouldn't let me get up at all.
Yeah.
It's just constantly fighting. And it is a struggle. And I'm always going to say this, that it's not easy. When people see me, they look at me and like, Emmett don't look sick at all. But nobody sees what I have to do. I'm still taking the dialysis. I'm going through, you know, with lupus and kidney failure and all of that. But again, we talked about it earlier. It's attitude. It's our attitude. My attitude is what's keeping me finishing all my project. My attitude is keeping me engaged with everybody. My attitude is even sitting back at the end of the day saying, I got through the day. It's time to go to sleep and have another day is tomorrow. So it's all my attitude.
I love it. So, I call it the bounce back. The bounce back. Everybody with lupus have that bounce back game, that bounce back ability.
I call it
Yeah,
the
to
warrior
go through.
mentality.
Yes.
Thank you. That's
Yeah.
it.
So
That's
how are you still making room for the things that you love to do with being on the machine for 10.5 hours and being so drained and so tired? Like, how are you still having me time? Like, what are your priorities to make yourself happy during this?
Mhm.
Well, remember when my dialysis is done at night, I just kind of consider that not part of my day because that's the day I'm resting anyway. So when I got the full day ahead of me, you know, me and Chanel will see based on her work schedule, we'll try to at least get out the house sometimes. You know, again, I got really good weather here in San Diego. So for us to go out, whether we go to a beach or the park, that's kind of how I keep things in perspective because life is too beautiful out here to just be, you know, in confinement due to an illness. Yes, we have an illness. Yes, we know we have to set back and do what we got to do to get better, but that doesn't mean we can't live life.
Yeah.
So if we get a chance to just get out, just to go for a drive, go out for a walk, that's how I do it. I have a calendar that I keep everything in my, and I still handwrite my calendar as well as my phone to know when my appointments are, when I have scheduled interviews, when I have this, when I have that. And so I make time for that because that also gives me that sense of normalcy that I need in my life right now.
Yeah.
I can't say that my life is just being a patient. No, I can't.
Mm. Mm. Okay, so what's the number one exciting thing you love to do to decompress after treatment?
Oh, wow. Well, let's see. Just I think I just mentioned it. Going out, you know, with enjoying the air. We like to watch movies. We I think it's more of just doing things to where it doesn't involve strenuous thing at all. Even though it does, because in the condition that I'm in right now, yeah, it is kind of hard to even walk upstairs and stuff like that. But it feels good to know that I did walk up those stairs.
There you go.
So that's kind of the way I feel. It makes me feel good. And again, at the end of the day, I could sit back and say, wow, I did this today. I did that today. I'm good. I'm good.
Celebrating the wins.
Yeah.
Every day.
Big or small, yes.
Hey, that's right. That's right.
So me and Emmett are both really big foodies. Whenever he comes out to Vegas, eating is definitely one of our number one things
Gotta
to
see
do.
where we go to next.
So
Yeah,
I would say, I
just-
would not be surprised that you still love to go out to dinner, and that's a way that you keep some normalcy throughout this. And then
we
just
do.
through your sleep period and getting out and feeling
Yeah.
life still and not letting it completely drain you or define you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. Me and Chanel, we just had some Korean barbecue at a restaurant the other day, and it was like heaven. It was like
That
heaven.
sounds good.
It's just things like that. Again, knowing what you're going through, but at that time, at that moment, you're enjoying what you like to do.
Mhm.
And it just makes everything worth what you're going through.
Yeah.
Mm.
So what would you say lupus has taught you about yourself that you otherwise would have never learned about yourself?
That I have a voice.
Hmm.
That I had a voice. I mean, I was always in a management role at work, and I've always was, you know, very vocal on things that I did. But since I started to talk about lupus and talk about my story, more people wanted to listen. So the more listeners you have, the more you're going to speak.
Yes.
I mean, I'm here on your show for what, the third time probably. I've done a few articles, I've done a few interviews. So it's kind of like, would I even be in this position without having lupus? I don't know where I'd be. I don't know. But I wouldn't trade this for anything right now.
Yeah.
No.
And look how many millions of people that you've helped throughout the globe.
You know what? I just do what I can, and however my voice and my work can get out there, it's not going to stop on my end. So I just appreciate everybody that's came in contact with me since I've started doing this, the people that supported me, the people that are behind me, and that's what fuels me to keep doing this.
Mhm.
And there are tons of people behind you and tons of people that you've inspired throughout the globe. And everybody can find a friend in you. And now they can actually read some of your words on paper, which is super exciting.
Yes, thank you. Thank
So
you.
proud of you. And one of your comments that you got were was from one of your followers. Says, "Hey, Emmett, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Love you, Emmett Henderson." And who knows if this is even someone that you have spoke to more than once or twice that you've been able to influence just by them watching what you're doing, what you're talking about. A total stranger out of not even all 50 states. Some of the people that are following you are from overseas. They're from different countries, continents. Like, I mean, so Emmett just got done climbing Mount Kilimanjaro, the highest mountain in Africa, to raise awareness for lupus. So
well, I got 13,000 feet before, you know, my lungs collapsed on me and then kidney failure. But you know what? Just the fact that I was even in Africa and was able to be on the international news to talk about lupus and to talk to support groups and politicians and doctors out there is, you know, something that I've always wanted to do. Never thought I would ever be at that type of position and doing what I'm doing. Never thought.
It's amazing, Emmett. And so Emmett is in a need for a kidney. And as we were talking before the show, a lot of people that are his followers and are members of all of our groups wouldn't qualify because they're also struggling with their health. So we want to reach the masses and try to get some people seeing if they would want to donate. And I did write an amazing poem about it. You can find it on Lupus Glitter and on Emmett's page about finding it in your heart to donate to a stranger, someone that has shed the light for the lupus community. And I'm going to share the link right now. If you would share this, that would be amazing. We really want to try to find Emmett a donor. With everything that he's done for this community, we really want to get behind Emmett right now and just scout the masses and have car decals throughout the states and to find him a possible donor. So right now, this is a website that you can get on and you can start trying to qualify and doing the test. And then Emmett, what blood type do you need to have just as a pre-qualifier before they even start the paperwork on this?
B blood type. B as in boy.
Okay, so you can be B positive, B negative, and then you can also be O positive or O negative because it's transversal.
It's universal, yes, yes.
Okay.
And so that screen, that link is to a screening that's just going to ask some questions, and then there's a couple stages of it, and some of them are just general questions about you and your condition. If you have any type of underlying conditions, they want to know your history, and then they'll let you guys know if it's worth going further or not, you know, in other words. So I'm just grateful for everybody that I tried to, you know, test. I've had calls of telling me that they screened, but unfortunately they weren't a match, and that's perfectly okay. That's perfectly okay.
And trust me, I was one of the first in line, and I'm A positive. So now it's just in my blood that runs A positive, unfortunately, to scout the masses and find you this kidney.
Thank you.
We are going to find it. Emmett is on the list. Typically that's what, an 18-month process?
No, the wait time about 6 to 8 years for a kidney, unless I get a live donor that qualifies. They can pretty much speed that process up on a live donor. But there's thousands of people that's on an organ list right now that's waiting as well.
Okay, you guys. Well, we're going to be offering a prize. We would love if you would sign up and just donate. We want to share this on social media. We started the hashtag Find Emmett a Kidney. So just comment your name for the chance to win a major prize from me. And please share this on social media so that we can find our dear brother a kidney, because everything that he's done in the lupus community it's historical. It's like beyond history, and we need to get behind Emmett in this time.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give everyone a chance to sign in, write their names, and then we'll be giving away a prize for sharing Emmett's story.
Love it.
Sorry, it's rainy over here.
I've been waiting for so long, girl. Yeah. To be with you alone, girl, yeah, yeah. Move your back against the wall, girl. Don't be afraid, won't let you fall, girl, no, no. You don't have to feel no pressure. We got all the night, no stress, girl. Yeah. I will make you scream.
Okay. So let's see who the winner is, you guys. And they're going to be winning a bottle of the butterfly nectar for sharing this and commenting Find Emmett a Kidney. Okay. Brrr, can I get a drum roll?
I'm excited.
Okay, and our winner today is actually going to be Nadia Gronin. So congratulations, Nadia.
I've been waiting for so long, girl. Yeah. To be with you alone, girl, yeah, yeah. Move your back against the wall, girl. Don't be afraid, won't let you fall, girl, no, no. You don't have to feel no pressure. We got all the night, no stress, girl. Yeah. I will make you scream.
So congratulations to Nadia for getting the butterfly nectar. Thank you so much for spreading awareness and helping us to share Emmett's story and find him the kidney that he needs. And Emmett, for new viewers, where can we find you? How can we get behind you, support your mission, and follow you?
First of all, the best way that you can support me is support others as well. That's it. Love everybody and help somebody, because somebody's going through something worse than what we are going through. And I say that to myself all the time. Despite what I go through, somebody's going through it worse. So how can I help somebody else?
That's right.
So that's one of the best things that we can do. You guys can all find me on social media, of course, on Facebook under my name, Emmett Henderson, on Instagram, Male Lupus Warriors, TikTok, God, everything else is Male Lupus Warriors just about.
Oh, and his TikTok is funny. You got to follow his TikTok. It's very, very good.
Also have a website at www.malelupuswarriors.org. You can read about my complete story, my bio on there, as well as seeing other lupus warriors and supporters on my pages as well. So you guys can see me there too. Hashtag Find Emmett a Kidney is what I'm trying to promote right now. And I know for a fact it's in God's timing and hands right now. It's going to happen. Yeah. So again, I'm patient. And when it does happen, the world's going to know. And I'll be.
Yeah.
And the way that you guys can really, really support us right now in this movement to hashtag Find Emmett a Kidney is if you would share this with 10 friends and on your social media. And I'll be giving prizes throughout the week to encourage this. And we're going to make this spread global, and we're going to find Emmett's kidney.
Yep.
Until next time, fly free. Thanks, Emmett, for being here.
Thank you, everybody.